Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're having some technical difficulties with the telephone system, but I'm going to begin the meeting. We have two members of the board of directors on the cell phones, which should suffice until there's any substantial business to be done.
No, it's not talking. Brian, talk.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Board of Directors meeting of Thursday, April the 6th, 2017.
Yeah.
There is a quorum present, and we're going to start with our introductions. First, I'm Carl Kinniger, President of the GTCA.
John Hay, Legal Counsel.
Sonila Kobler, and Tower 2.
Justin Mack, Director at Large.
Joe Purcell, Director.
Rich Fuente, Director at Large.
Richard Miller, Director at Tower 1.
And Brian Luggett and Wayne Weston.
Brian, say hello.
Telephone.
Hi, how's it going, everybody?
Meeting is there.
After a year, you are alive.
Anyway, the first order of business is the approval of the minutes of the March 16, 2017 minutes. Can I do a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the open board minutes for March 16, 2017.
Second.
I second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion of the minutes? There appears to be no discussion of the minutes. All those in favor of accepting minutes, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
The motion is passed. I have a few short remarks to make this evening. As far as scheduling goes, next Wednesday, April the 13th, we have an insurance seminar in the Spa Lounge at 8 p.m. We will discuss homeowners and renters insurance, and this is what we presented by First Services Insurance. There'll be a flyer out and announcements. After that, on Thursday, April the 20th, our auditors will come in and will present the audit report for 2016. Followed by that, we'll have First Service presentation about the general management principles, and at that time, we'll introduce the new general manager. The exact time hasn't been set, but I think it will be about 8 p.m. A few personal remarks now. I've served on the board for 6 years, and I've been president of the board for over 3 years. This is my last meeting. I will be replaced by a new representative for Tower 2 at the close of the AGM. My thanks to the board members who have served with me for all their cooperation and hard work. I also have to thank those people who back up the board, such as the various committees who contribute so much to the galaxy. In particular, I want to recognize the election committee, who has faced many new challenges over these last years. And no one, I think, except the board, is fully aware how hard they work. I also want to acknowledge the full cooperation from the GTCA office and staff, and I'd like to thank them very much. Tonight, we're holding a combination board meeting in the AGM. At the close of the AGM, the new board members should be seated. There are, however, two administrative topics on the agenda that have to be addressed before the AGM that deal with the election, and these will be the subject of the next two board items. I believe that the transition to a new board will be better served if the rest of the meeting is conducted by Sonila Kobler, our Vice President, who will remain on the board under all circumstances. Therefore, I resign as President and a member of the board. I'd like to thank again the board, its committees, and the staff for their hard work and cooperation. Thank you all.
come, I would like to say a few words to the Galaxy community about Carl. During his tenure as president, the Galaxy board was transformed into a civilized forum that allowed the board members to collaborate and to achieve significant accomplishments that will benefit all of us. He recognized what our residents demanded. It was under his leadership that our maintenance costs have decreased. We saw monthly financial statements, our hallways renovated, the creation of accounting department that is professional, responsive, and most importantly, sound. Plus many other big projects that were neglected for years, such as boilers, driveways, atrium, and others, they started, they will get done, and many more are on the way. So speaking for many of us, I would like to thank you, Carl, for everything that you have done for Galaxy. Okay, now we proceed with the next item in the agenda, which is appointment of member and chairperson of election committee. Can I have the motion, Justin?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Ms. Rochelle C. Day as chairperson to the election committee. This is a ratified vote to a prior email vote.
Any discussion? Sorry, second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Okay. Who is for it? Any of them? No. So unanimously pass. All right. The next item.
Is anything about your vote?
Board of Director election candidate for District 1 and 3. The GTCA bylaws provides in Article 5, Section 3, that in the case of non-contested director seat, Article 4, Section 3, that in the case of non-contested director seats, the board may declare the candidates from those districts to be elected without conducting an election. The election committee has certified that there is only one candidate from District 1, Richard Miller, and one candidate from District 3, Richard Vasquez. The board, as the next item of business, will consider adopting a resolution declaring those sole candidates running for those seats elected. May I have the motion?
I make a motion in accordance with Article 4, Section 3 of the GTCA bylaws that the board declare, having received certification from the election committee, that there is only one candidate for District 3, Richard Vasquez, that have been duly elected with the same force and effect for the full term of his office if the election have had held and the candidate be duly elected thereafter.
Who is second? Any discussion? So, who is for it? So unanimously passed.
Oh,
sorry.
Brian and Wade?
Aye.
Wait.
Brian?
I just didn't hear it enough. I didn't hear well enough. I couldn't hear
We're voting.
I'll repeat the motion. I make a motion in accordance with Article 4, Section 3 of the GTCA bylaws that the board declare, having received certification from the election committee, that there is only one candidate for District 3, Richard Vasquez, that the board had duly elected in the same force and effect for the full term of his office as if the election had been held and the candidate had been duly elected thereafter.
For or
I heard that.
Sorry, what is your vote?
Or abstain?
Brian?
Brian, for, against, or abstain?
For.
For.
Okay, unanimously passed. Okay, at this point, there will be a recess and we conduct our annual meeting. After,
What about Richard?
oh,
Wait.
the motion was for both
Wait,
towers.
no,
That was for,
Just the town.
Okay, all right.
Wait,
So
so
make,
that was District 3.
okay.
I make a motion that in accordance with Article 4, Section 3 of the GTCA bylaws, the board declare, having received certification from the election committee, that there's only one candidate from District 1, Richard Miller, that Richard Miller be duly elected with the same force and effect in the full term of office as if the election had been held and the candidate had been duly elected thereafter. The new term of office shall commence as of the expiration of the director's current term as of the GCA annual meeting.
Who is seconding? Okay, any discussion? No discussion, who is for it?
I'm for.
Who is against it? Abstention? Motion passed. At this point, there will be a recess and we conduct our annual meeting. After the annual meeting, we reconvene and we proceed with the agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the annual meeting of Galaxy. Do we have the quorum? And we need 104. So the quorum is not present.
Excuse me,
After
if
the annual-
Richard, if Richard Vasquez is a director, why is he not at the table?
After the
You
annual,
just voted him in.
That's right, you should get up and run the table. What, hold on, it's gonna happen during the annual meeting, it's always.
He was
It's
just
in a normal
elected
meeting.
and he was approved, he should be at the table. He is the director now.
okay, so before that. Okay.
Why didn't you?
Okay, sorry, at this point, we will have a recess and we conduct our annual meeting after the recess. I would like to see the directors in meeting room number 3.
How long is the recess?
15 minutes. All right, we proceed. Notices for the annual general meeting of the Galaxy Tower Condominium Association was posted at Old Tower Desk Management Office and the Spa Lounge on Thursday, March 23rd of 2017, in the Jersey Journal newspapers on March 29, 2017, and in the North Bergen Report newspaper on April 2nd, 2017. However, we have got only 47 of homeowners present, and we need, in order to have a quorum, we need 104, so we cannot conduct our meeting. At this point, I would like to ask the election committee to present the report. Election committee?
Yes.
Okay.
You want the podium? You can turn around, or you can sit, wherever you'd like.
I don't need to be on the podium, I don't think I can see very well from here.
You need to hold the
Good
microphone
evening.
to your mouth.
Look into the
Hold the
microphone.
microphone close.
Is that okay? Okay. So, this is the report results of the 217 election for District 2. On March 1st, 2017, a vote was held of unit owners in District 2. As a result of that vote, the two highest vote getters were Michael T. Crico and Carl Kenninger. Based on the results of the March 1st, 2017 vote, a runoff election was held for District 2 on March 29, 2017. As a result of that vote, the successful candidate for District Director for District 2 was Michael D. Greco. A copy of the certification from the Honest Bowing Association is attached. For Districts 1 and 3, there was only one candidate nominated for each of the district director positions in Districts 1 and District 3. As a result, the
Could you
election
speak
committee-
louder, please, Rocio?
Okay,
Thank you.
can I just, maybe if I stand here?
Hold the
Yeah.
microphone closer to your mouth, just hold it.
Okay,
That's it.
Beautiful,
Oh, good.
okay.
fabulous. Nice voice.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So for District 1 and 3, there was only one candidate nominated for each of the district director positions of District 1 and District 3. As a result, the election committee recommended to the GTCA Board of Directors that there was no need to hold a vote for the positions of District Director in District 1 and District 3, and that the two candidates be declared duly elected pursuant to Article 4, Section 3 of the bylaws. Pursuant to the response from the GTCA, Board President, no election vote was held for Districts 1 and 3. Copies attached. The candidates for District Director in District 1 and District 3 who were unopposed were District 1, Richard Miller, District 3, Richard Vasquez. The GTCA Election Committee hereby certifies the above as the results of the 2017 election for District Directors in Districts 1, 2, and 3 of the GTCA. And signed by me, Rocio Cide, and there's the attached from the Honest Ballot. So should I give this wonderful?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Fabulous job.
Thank you very much.
Now they have been certified by election committee, and according to our bylaws, now they are officially members of the board. Congratulations and welcome on the board. We are very excited to have you on the board, and we are looking forward to working with all of you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, owners, for your support. You're the ones we're here for.
Now we proceed with the next item in the agenda. And that is election of board officers.
I make a motion to table the election of board officers.
Anybody to second it? There is no discussion for the tabling. So who is for it? Who is against it?
Aye.
Brian? Brian?
Brian, are you for or against? Are you for or against?
Four.
Four.
It's tabled.
So for the motion.
Five. That's five to table.
Now, I think who is for it?
It's five
One,
to
two,
table.
three.
One,
It's
two,
four,
three,
four.
four. Brian is
Oh,
five.
4, 5. Okay, the motion carries. So let's go to the next item. Manager's report.
Thank you, Mrs. President, directors of the board, and Galaxy community. It's my pleasure to provide the management report of activity for the month of for the month of March 2017. There will be no accounting report this evening as the month-end closings for March are not yet complete. First, I should start on a low note and get that over with and work up to more positive things from there. On Tuesday, March 21st, 3 rocks were thrown from above the pool area, causing 3 of the glass panels to break in the atrium. The pool had to be briefly closed that evening until the following day after a glass company removed the excess broken glass and confirmed the area was safe for swimming. The replacement glass is a custom order which won't be available for at least another 2 weeks, and that vandalism will cost the community approximately $15,000.
Question?
No, so after they finish.
Here in the Spa Lounge on Wednesday, March 21st, the Spa Manager Sharon Harrison held a successful nutrition seminar for Galaxy residents. The presentation was well received by the dozen or so residents who attended, engaging in conversation throughout and asking questions for some 2 hours while they enjoyed healthy snacks and smoothies. For those who missed it, information from the handouts that were given was featured in the weekly update for the past 2 weeks. The final installment will be tomorrow. The annual landscape maintenance contract began yesterday with the first cleanup of the season. This included debris removal and litter, pruning and trimming of hedges, and edging around all the mulch beds. The next step would be to the planting of the first annuals, and the facility manager will be consulting with the beautification committee and board on what they select to put out in the flower pots and so forth. The hallway redecorating project continues on schedule with 7 additional floors completed since my last report, for a total of 50 floors substantially completed to date. The project is still on target for final completion in November of this year. The timeline for scheduling of the remaining floors can be found at any time on Condo Cafe. There's also copies on the bar in the back of the room as well. The new ceiling light fixtures arrived on Monday the 6th, and catch-up was completed and accomplished in about 3 weeks as anticipated. As of today, all the completed floors have the new lighting. Staff has applied for $17,000 in Energy Star rebates so far. We anticipate all the applications will be approved. The garage reconstruction project continues. The 11th floor exit ramp was completed and reopened at the end of March. And the first phase of the overhead work below the slabs that were repaired on the 11th floor will be completed tomorrow, at which time that work area will move to the other side of the driveway. This involves cutting away loose and spalling concrete from above, installing forms and pumping concrete through small holes from the next layer above. As the work area shifts every 2 weeks from floors 12 until we get down to 7, approximately 50 parking spaces will be closed off at any given time for the construction. However, 60 spots will finally be returned to service at the same time from the original construction. On or about May 30th, the traffic coding work on floors 12 and 11 will begin, and during the traffic coding, approximately 120 spots will be out of service. That's the same amount of spaces that have been out of circulation during construction over the last 2 years. Once traffic coding is completed in the second week of July, the garage will be cleaned and all the equipment removed. The community will then have a short reprieve from the heavy garage construction before heavy work resumes in the next phase in the next contract. On the boiler project, a second project meeting for boilers was held earlier this week. Permits have been issued, which means we can confirm the physical work will begin in the second week of May with the dismantling of the first boiler. Product selections were submitted by the contractor and approved by the engineer, which I will discuss in more detail in one of my recommendations this evening to follow. Electronic recycling. For the convenience of residents, an electronic recycling drop-off area has been set up on the 14th floor of the garage. Residents may discard their old computers, printers, TVs, VCRs, and other outdated items such as Betamaxes, cassette players, 8-track players, house phones, Motorola's, and apparently cell phones that are older than 6 months. This does not include any appliances such as refrigerators and microwaves and the like. The area is well marked in the garage on the 14th floor between towers 1 and 3. Residents may drop off equipment at any time or call the maintenance department and arrange for pickup, in which case the standard fees will apply. And a final reminder, an insurance seminar will be held here in the lounge next Thursday, April 13th at 8 p.m., presented by Sean Kent, the Vice President of First Service Residential Insurance. And Ken will discuss where the association coverage ends for insurance and where the unit owner's coverage should begin. Also, the type of insurance Galaxy homeowners and renters are required to carry and under what circumstances. Flyers for this event are also located on the bar in the back of the room. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Frank. Any question
Yes,
for Frank?
Frank, the rock that cost $15,000. There are no cameras up there? I mean, you say someone threw the rock? There are no cameras from the driveway, or did it come from other than the driveway, or you don't know?
Apparently, it either came from Tower 2 above, or less likely from the plaza area. There are no cameras pointing up from the atrium up to the tower, so no, there's no.
And nothing in the driveway?
Yes, we have cameras in the driveway, but we're not able to see every spot. We did check through them, and it's likely that because of the protruding columns and vents up there between the buildings, that anyone could have done it from the plaza and still be concealed from the cameras.
Right, would you think it would be a good idea to have the driveway so that you have full camera coverage up there? Because it's protection only for people, items being thrown, but also for the security of our residents.
Yes, as a matter of fact, there's a handful of cameras there now and a proposal to add about 15 cameras. Many of those would be in and around the plaza driveway for that and several other reasons.
Good. Prevent from happening again.
Okay, any more questions for Frank? All right. So the next item is waiver of AR 37 boilers.
Make a motion to waive Administrative Resolution 37 to allow for the boiler project contractor Evco Mechanical to purchase and install East Coast Series FST 500 boilers made by the East Coast Boiler Corp. of Bronx, New York, a wholly owned subsidiary of A.L. Eastman & Sons Incorporated, in which a Galaxy Towers resident owner holds an equity interest.
Any second? Please second. Okay. Any discussion? Frank, you want to give some background?
Yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. The Galaxy contract with O&S Engineering to provide drawings and specifications to replace the association's two steam boilers and related domestic hot water treatment. O&S performed an initial review of replacement options. The board ultimately selected replacement in kind approach, whereby two 500 horsepower boilers would be replaced with two new 500 horsepower boilers. The Board of Management gave no further instructions to O&S regarding the type of equipment to be specified. As part of the equipment specification, O&S called for EASCO Series FPS 500 Field Erect Steam Boilers, or approved equal. Subsequently, it came to management's attention by one of the directors of the board that a Galaxy resident is an officer and owner of the A.L. Eastman and Company, which wholly owns the EASCO Boiler Company. At the time the specifications were written, neither management or O&S Engineering had any knowledge that EASCO Boiler was a division of A.L. Eastman, or that a Galaxy resident was a principal of A.L. Eastman. At the board's request, we sought a legal opinion from your counsel regarding the interpretation of Administrative Resolution number 37. And AR 37, which was adopted by the board in 2007, in summary, prohibits employment of or contracting with owners and residents of the Galaxy or their relatives. The purpose appears to be to avoid sweetheart-type insider dealings that would financially favor such individuals to the disadvantage of the Galaxy. The attorney provided that opinion on April 3rd, 2017. In summary, and that's Mr. John Haig, who sits here with us, and so he may elaborate as well, concluded that in the literal interpretation of the resolution, the purchase through the mechanical contractor of the EASCO boilers would be prohibited. He also recommended the board consider adopting a resolution waiving the applicability of AR 37 to this transaction based on the fact that neither management nor O&S Engineering in good faith had any information that would identify the resident's role in the parent company. Second, as O&S in its professional capacity as an engineering firm made the recommendation for the ASCO boiler, that recommendation can be relied upon as being based on capability, reliability, and the cost effectiveness of the product. Also, there's a unique feature about these boilers. They're field erectable boilers, which makes them unique and conducive to this project. Accordingly, the recommendation of O&S mitigated against the type of favoritism that AR 37 was attempting to address or intended to address. So, so the attorney recommends that the board approve this waiver. So that's the explanation.
Any more discussion?
Also, in talking with our general manager, the board is going to look at this AR and attempt to keep the spirit of it, but maybe simplify it with the language as the owners understand if somebody was to own stock in Verizon, in theory, we shouldn't be using Verizon Wireless here, or we shouldn't be able to have Verizon Fios. So it's beyond restrictive to the building, so we're going to try to visit that and then vet it through legal and try to, you know, obviously keep the spirit of it to their own sweetheart deals, but make, you know, give the Galaxy the flexibility to get the best deals when they're bidding out their contracts.
Okay, no more discussion, we take a vote. People that are for it? Anybody for it? We take a vote? Yes. Anybody against it? Abstention? Okay, one abstention. The motion passed.
Carl?
Sorry, Brian and Wade?
Wade.
I keep forgetting that.
I'm for.
Okay, and Wade? Brian?
I'm for.
Okay. The next item is transformer testing. Can I have the motion?
I make a motion to award a contract to Scott Testing Incorporated of Hamilton, New Jersey for inspecting and testing of 30 step-down electrical transformers at a cost of $25,000 plus 10% contingencies for a contract price not to exceed $27,500.
Who is seconding? All right. Any discussion? Do you like to give some background, Frank?
Yes, thank you. Electric service for Galaxy residents are distributed by approximately 37 step-down electrical transformers which convert 480 volt power to 120 to 108 volt for the use in the apartments. Many of the transformers are more than 40 years old. 6 transformers were recently replaced in the last 24 months to avoid potential failure. 1 transformer failed completely at the end of 2016, resulting in total loss of electricity for several apartments. As these transformers are a single point of potential failure, testing is needed to determine which of the remaining original transformers are critical and which should be replaced and in what appropriate order. We took bids, we solicited bids from 5 companies that do this kind of work. 3 companies responded with bids ranging from $68,400 to $25,000. Our electrical engineer, A&S Engineering, reviewed the bid from Scott Testing, and in his opinion, this is a sound bid that meets the requirements of the specifications that he developed for this.
Any more discussion? So now we take a vote. Who is for it? So unanimous. Oh, sorry.
Aye.
Bye. Brian?
Aye.
Okay, good. Unanimous. The next item, restoration team. The motion.
I make a motion to reinstitute the restoration team initiative for a 90-day period to include 3 men, 40 hours a week, 1 experienced painter working foreman, 2 painter laborers. The approximate total labor hours for the 90-day period is 600, and an approximate cost of that 90-day initiative is $37,300.
Okay, Frank?
Okay, this initiative is an economic method to continue the day-to-day painting and curb appeal work associated with the R&R program. The areas to be addressed include painting of the Plaza driveway curbs, Ferry Road islands, outdoor pool touch-up, garage vestibules, glass doors, and the
I
like.
have to stop you. Who second that? Anybody second? Okay, just, okay, so you continue.
No problem. Also, in painting the stair towers and the connecting buildings, to follow through with the hallway project as well. And finally, indoor pool touch-up painting after the outdoor pool is open and the indoor pool is closed for seasonal repairs. We tried this last year with a number of authorizations for the original restoration team, which was proposed by 2 of the board members, Justin Max and Rich Del Fuente. It was very, very successful, and it saved the association quite a bit of money compared to the cost of outside contractors to do the same type of work.
Any more discussion?
I'm sorry, but it really sometimes breaks up over the phone, so if someone could just tell me the duration of this work again, of this.
Duration.
Yes, the duration would be 90 days, and in your packet is a 12-week schedule showing what the deliverables will be for each week.
Richard?
Is this anything new that we didn't have in the working session on Monday?
No, there is some new detail which I was asked to add. It's at the bottom of the recommendation item. You have what you have in front of you is the old item. The new item looks something like this with it was in your board packet that we sent out. It has the week-to-week schedule showing what will be done each week.
Yes, Frank, with all due respect, we just got this hard copies of this board package tonight, and it's my fiduciary responsibility to look it over, take the time to see it, and it's very hard without this. I know you were only asked on Monday, but it's very hard to approve something where we just got the information right now. And who's going to be monitoring this? Because while it's a good concept, the monitoring of it last year was not good. I think they stretched out their work. In the beginning they were good, and then they just had a complete slowdown. But that's normal when they're not being supervised. I know you're torn in many different directions, and we didn't have a facilities manager, but still, I think we could have gotten more accomplished last year. So who's going to be responsible? You may have said it to supervise them.
It would be the facility manager that will supervise this directly. The lack of organization that you referred to at the end of last year, certainly we noted it as well, and that's why the program was dropped to only 3 people. The labor dollars were shifted so that instead of $20 per hour pay for each of the persons equally, there is a higher paid working foreman and 2 laborers. The working foreman will be selected from among candidates who have painting experience. So nothing's new in the board item other than what I had been asked to provide, and that's the week-to-week schedule. So everything was in there when we had the working session on Monday, but I certainly respect your reluctance if you're not comfortable with that.
So the only new thing is the proposed schedule then?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'd like to say to the homeowners that this restoration project last year that Richie really was the founder of, give you all the credit for it, Rich. You did a great job with it last year. Not only did it save us a lot of money, but we wouldn't have what we have today. All the pergolas on the berm, they scraped, they painted, or they fixed all the wood and the benches and the tables in the mini park. They fixed all the concrete around the indoor pool. They painted the indoor pool, the outdoor pool, the inside of the stairwells. They painted inside the units that we own and rent out. And they saved us a ton of money. They did such a great job. And you know what? It wouldn't have been done. If we didn't do that, they'd still be looking at peeling paint, chipping paint, broken concrete. And not only did those guys fix and repair most of the Galaxy, I mean, they saved us a ton of money. This was one of the best things that I think, you know, we have accomplished on the board is that restoration team, and I'm very happy to make this motion. I feel very comfortable making it. It's probably one of the best motions tonight, and I feel very comfortable about it.
I just have one quick thing.
Okay, sure, Ray.
I think they did a great job. I would agree. They saved the Galaxy a tremendous amount of money. It would be not, I think it's a great idea to do it again. Unfortunately, since I wasn't there to receive the package tonight and I haven't seen it, I just don't really think, I don't think it's responsible to respond either way, but I do in theory totally support this.
Any more discussion? So now we take a vote. This time I ask Brian first. Brian and Ray. Who is for it? Are you for it?
I'm for it.
Okay. And the rest? Who is for it?
I'm going to abstain just because I haven't seen the schedule, so I'm
Okay.
for its principle, yes, so I'll abstain.
All right. So who is against it? Abstention? 3 abstention. The motion passed. Now, the last item is vote of annual calendar.
Make a motion to approve the annual board meeting calendar for 2017 and 2018 as follows. May 18, 2017, June 15, 2017, July 20th, 2017, August 17, 2017, September 14, 2017, October 19, 2017, November 16, 2017, December 14, 2017, January 18, 2018, February 15, 2018, March 15, 2018, and April 19, 2018.
Second, who is second? Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, Mary, when you post this or put this in the newspapers as required 7 days after the annual meeting, I just want to make sure you're aware of that. The first one that I listed here when I made the schedule, April 6th, and I indicated usually meetings are later in the month. You don't have to put that note in there, okay? I don't know if you even need to do the April 6th because it's after the fact. Just a reminder.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we take a vote. Who is for it? Brian and Ray?
Aye.
Okay.
A motion to adjourn.
Okay. All right. So, who is for it? Sorry. No.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a motion on the floor to adjourn. It was seconded.
Yes. All right. So, who is for it?
Aye.
Okay. And Brian and Ray?
Aye.
Okay. So this. Thank you. Yes, the session has been closed. Thank you for participating in it.